Faith without works is dead, but faith with works equals the grind. Welcome to the Boss Grind Podcast.
I like the way you do business.
Well, family, welcome again to another great episode of the Boss Grind Podcast. I'm your host, J. Anthony Smith, and our special guest this evening is Twanna Smith, the owner and proprietor of the Burnin Oven. So we're going to talk to her about what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur and many more great important things. So welcome to the podcast, Twanna. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for agreeing to sit down and talk to our people and tell us about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So as an intro, tell us about yourself.
Well, I was born in West Tennessee, and my mom and dad moved here when I was around 2 or 3, and I've been in Nashville ever since.
Well, awesome. Welcome to this great city of Nashville and good things here. So tell us, how did you come up with the name of your company?
Okay, that came by accident. I was telling my husband that I want him to build one of those piece of brick ovens in the backyard, but I kept calling it the Burnin Oven. And he kept saying, "What is a burning oven?" So I explained it to him, and he said, "Like a brick piece of oven?" I was like, "Yeah, that's it." So when I got ready to decide what name I wanted, I came up with a lot of different names that I really didn't want to stick. And then I thought of that. I was like, I've always gotten that name wrong, so that would be a good name. So we just kept it.
Oh, that is definitely a unique name and something that, people can definitely remember. I know as growing up in the South, in Nashville, burning meant you was doing something good most times. So
You were doing something good.
Yeah.
With that stove.
Exactly. So if your oven is burning, you're good. You're not
right
in the house. Awesome. So tell us, what is significant or what is unique about the Burnin Oven?
Well, we basically deal with soul food, but lately we've had customers that have asked for different things that, was a challenge to us, but I like it. And we've conquered those challenges so far. So it's a different variety of things. So we try to stick with one thing, but our customers try to lean us to different things, which is really exciting. So we like that too.
Okay, well, great. So just as a background, that the Burnin Oven is a catering company that's based out of Nashville that, as you mentioned, kind of you perform many different types of food options. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. We do different events sometimes, and sometimes you might see us around and about in Nashville when different events pop up.
Awesome. So how long have you guys been open?
This is our 2nd year.
Awesome. Oh, that 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that kind of leads me right into the next question. So what's been the hardest part about running a business?
First of all, it kind of came unexpectedly. I know I wanted to do it, but yeah, it kind of hit fast, and you had to keep up with that pace of going and keeping going. And I think the hardest part would have been starting off financially and then realizing that, hey, your first year is not a profit year because you got a lot of stuff you have to get to keep the business going. So I think that was probably the hardest thing. And then you got time-wise. Sometimes you have to not be able to use your time because customers need you on this day, and this day. So it's like different things can pop up and you have to be ready and prepared for it.
Exactly, especially with dealing with food and catering, and that's one of the major I don't say roadblocks, maybe issues that people have is their food. You don't mess with their food.
Don't mess with their food. And I agree.
So
agree.
yeah, so basically you kind of started the business from the heart, something that you enjoy doing. I know as a testament, I've eaten some of your cooking, so I'm like, That's some good things right there, boy. So,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
and that's
Yes, it kind of went from there. I was explaining to my husband what my ideas was, and he was like, well, let's start by selling plates and see how that goes. Because your family will always like your food sometimes, but let's see what people outside feel about it. So it started at my job, and I started getting them to want me to do it every Friday for them. And I was like, hey, this is something awesome. And then when someone else transferred to another hospital, word of mouth got over there. So we started delivering there. So word of mouth is really, really a big thing.
good.
And
And
you always got to be on top of your game with food.
yes, yes. And you also mentioned a good thing as far as you started kind of small doing
Hmm.
plates, kind of testing out the market and testing out people's
Yes.
ability to help out. So that's definitely a good tool for any young entrepreneur. You don't necessarily have to jump out there with the food truck and everything. You kind of start small.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Good. Well, that's a good role right there. So we're gonna take a quick break, give everybody a chance to kind of sit down and really get involved in this great conversation we're gonna have. So we'll be right back after these brief messages. For the best Southern cooking that you can eat at your event, check out the Burning Oven, where taste is a priority. And we're back. So again, we're talking with Twanna Smith, the owner and proprietor of the Burning Oven based out in Nashville, a catering company that gives a special oomph to their food. So we're going to jump right back into these questions and again, get more insight into what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So Twanna, let me ask you this question. What has changed in your life since becoming an entrepreneur?
Um, Mostly I would say my time has changed. I don't have as much freedom trying to get the business to keep going. So freedom is limited when you're first starting.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's going to get worse, but hey, bring it on. But
Right.
yeah, it's mostly time.
Gotcha. So not only are you an entrepreneur, but you also have a day job as well. So
Mhm.
that's what you're referring to as far as the split time between your day job, your business,
Yeah.
and any other things, family or anything like that that may come up.
Yep.
So it's all about before you start that business, you got to really take everything into consideration.
Yes.
It's not a matter of stopping you, but it's just being understanding and knowledgeable about what it's going to take, and are you really ready to put forth that effort.
Right. Exactly.
Got you. So, what is some advice that you wish you would have received when you first started?
Um, I I think it would probably be I wish I had like prepared financially first for it. But I mean, it worked out great. But if I had a actually planned,
Mhm.
then it wouldn't be too much of, hey, next time I'll get this, next time I'll get this. It would have been all there, which is fine if you don't have it all there. But I wish I had have had that advice.
Now, when you say financial, are you referring to like buying things or buying supplies and things like that?
Yes, supplies, websites, um, anything you're gonna use like for marketing. But the biggest things is the supplies, the catering supplies. And people don't realize this, but you have to account for like gas and mileage and all that other stuff,
Mhm.
also.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Like I said, buying the food, buying the prep supplies, buying the serving utensils and the
Yes.
all that back and forth. So yeah, so it's definitely as you're opening up your business or being an entrepreneur, making sure that you have everything that you need as you start. Like you said, it's kind of a learn as you go, but
Yes.
knowledgeable about what's going on. Okay, gotcha. So what has been the best part about running the business or running a business?
Meeting new people. That is the best part. You never know who you're gonna run into, who they know, and it's really awesome. And it really is exciting when you meet someone and you're like, I know you. And they were like, I know who you are too. You're the owner of the Burnin Oven. And I know because I'm over this event. So, and I was looking for you. So that's always good to hear, you know. So yeah, meeting people, and like I can talk to people for days. So people in front of me, we're talking, I'm getting to know them, they're getting to know us. That's what I like.
Gotcha. So I know this is kind of an off the cuff question, but can you think of a time that you had a weird experience at a catering event? Not necessarily in a bad way, but it's just something that you always remember.
Weird. Hmm, I can't think of anything weird. Not off the top of my head, I can't think of anything weird.
Okay, like I know it's just I just happened to think about that as we were talking. I was like, well, let me see if she can, something come out the top of your head. But yeah, I understand. So basically, a lot of your events have been, have they been in like small places or small event halls or homes or things like that?
Yes, they've been in homes, event centers, where we did outside event, yeah, Juneteenth event that was outside. Um, yeah, so homes, event centers, outside events, and rec centers.
Gotcha. Okay, so basically you're pretty flexible. You can pretty much go just about any.
Mhm. Yes.
Good, good. Now, as far as with did you have that in consideration as you was building the business, as far as having to go a lot of different places, or were you pretty much kind of thinking it's going to be like maybe in one or two types of event places?
No, we had that in mind already. We actually we limited ourselves like to West Tennessee, probably from Clarksville to West Tennessee, that Murfreesboro. And I think that's our limit right now, those surrounding areas. But hey, if we grow, we may expand.
Okay, like I say, always keep things
All
ahead.
right.
Anything can happen. All right. So, what do you want people to remember about your business?
The food.
Okay, tell us about
Most about the food. I want them to remember us as well, but I want them to remember the experience they have with the food.
it. Gotcha. Yeah, that's definitely something. If nothing else, if somebody can remember, man, that steak was good, or those beans
Right.
were good, yeah, they'll remember and come back to you at all times.
Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so tell us, how can people reach out to you?
They can reach us through social media. We have Facebook page, The Burning Oven, um, Instagram, or they can go to our website, and they can reach us that way as well.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely put that on our back end process. So thank you so much, Twanna, for sitting down and talking with us and telling us about the Burning Oven based in Nashville, one of the best catering companies out there with some great food. So
Woohoo! Yes.
thank you again. Thank you again for sitting down with us here at the Boss Grind podcast. So again, definitely follow up with Twanna if you're in Nashville area or Clarksville or Murfreesboro or West Tennessee and you're looking for some great catering company, definitely reach out to them. They have the great service and great food to match. So that ends our podcast for today. Again, we thank Twanna Smith for sitting down with us. And definitely come back and see us again when we come back with another great episode of sitting down with an entrepreneur, talking to them about their process and what it takes for them to be successful. So this is the Boss Grind Podcast. J. Anthony Smith. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a good one. Faith without works is dead, but faith with works equals the grind. Welcome to the Boss Grind Podcast.
I like the way you do business.